Hi everyone, Luke Filmboss here, and today I'm going to be ranking all 9 episodes of WandaVision and giving my final thoughts. This is a video that's long overdue, so I'm going to try to keep it brief and get through this as quick as possible because I need to get this video out there. So, in 9th place, we have episode 9, and this episode has gone through the most Jurassic change since I first viewed it. When I first viewed it, I thought it was the second best episode because as far as entertainment goes, it was okay. It was solid. It entertained you throughout. And I guess I was just like all hyped up about it's finally here, the last episode of WandaVision, the finale, and it was fun. It was all these things, but when I really think about it, this is the episode that I'm least likely to revisit. It was fun, but it wasn't the most fun, and it was kind of disappointing, to be honest. It was entertaining, don't get me wrong. It had a lot of good emotional conclusion, but it was kind of trumped by previous episodes in both the emotion and the entertainment factor, and there's like no big reveals or surprises that really made this episode worth revisiting. There was some good stuff, like I said. I give episode 9 now a 70%, but it is ranked as the lowest in the number 9 spot. And in the number 8 spot is the first episode, episode 1, with an 80%. And I thought episode 1 was good. It just is a little bit confusing. For what it was going for, it worked expertly, and it just has like this atmosphere of mystery to it, while being, I guess it was 40s or 50s sitcom style. So it was fun. It was a good way to introduce us, and we'll get on to episode 2 later, but episode 2 kind of sealed this as something worth our time. So in number 7, the 7th place as far as these episodes, I would put episode 3. I felt like episode 3 had the least going on. It was okay. It was slightly better than episode 1 because we're starting to see a little bit more progression. But overall, not much happens. And so that kind of makes it feel lacking, like a lackluster episode that just doesn't give us quite enough. It does expand the story and give some really good cliffhanger moments. But as far as the episode itself, it wasn't amazing. I give it an 81% for episode 3 in the 7th place. As for 6th place, I would rank episode 4 with an 83%. I thought it was okay. It wasn't the most fascinating WandaVision episode. It was kind of like a lot of filler of like explaining what's going on outside of the Hex, and it was nice to see some of my theories and predictions pay off, but overall, it's not like they were paid off in like some big, extremely rewarding way. It's just like these little things that are like, oh, yeah, that actually was what was happening, but it's not like anything huge. We don't get any big character reveals. We do see a lot of returning cast members from previous Marvel movies come in, which was nice to see, and it was overall a good enough episode, but episode 4 wasn't like one of the best in this series, so I rank it at number 6 with an 83%. And in 5th place with an 85%, I rank episode 7. Now, I liked this episode quite a bit when I first watched it. It had some of the biggest reveals and biggest progression as far as plot, but overall, emotionally, it was a little bit lacking. Like, it tries, but it does lack quite a bit. But what really is like the worst part about this episode is that there's so much good, but also it kind of like leaves out some characters and like gives them nothing to do. Like, we have this whole side plot of Darcy and Vision, and they pretty much do nothing the entire episode, and it kind of acknowledges that in the episode by like, wait, what are we doing? So yeah, I liked it. I liked the way they wove the sitcom idea into it being like a fourth wall breaking episode. It was fun, it was interesting, and it had some good progression. But overall, I give episode 7 85% in the 5th place out of the 9 episodes. And in 4th place out of all the episodes, I would put episode 2 with an 86%. I thought episode 2 was pretty good. So it ranks is number 4 with an 86%. It just had I felt like some of the best humor, some of the best jokes. It feels the most like a classic sitcom. Like episode 1 did very well, but I feel like episode 2 did it almost to perfection, and it still added in more mystery and cliffhanger bait to hook you into the next episode. I really liked episode 2, and it was the episode that made me feel like, yeah, this is a worthwhile Marvel project. It could be great, but that's where I stood at episode 2, 86, and it's number 4 out of my ranking. So in 3rd place, episode 6 with an 89%. I liked episode 6. There's a lot of interesting stuff that went underway. We start exploring a little bit more. Vision's starting to get curious, and so he's exploring, going behind Wanda's back. You have Quicksilver, or the fake Quicksilver, showing who he really is and getting on Wanda's nerves. We get to see a lot more of the twins and their power growth, their power discovery, which was cool. And then we have that ending, and it's not just an ending that's used to make you want to see the next episode, although it is by far the episode that does that the most. But the ending actually does add to the story in a big way. So, and number 3, I would put episode 6 with an 89%. In the number 2 spot with a 92%, I would give episode 5. And originally I only had this at an 88%, but as I reviewed it again and looked over episode 5, I think a 92% is justified because it explores the theme of the show more than almost any of the other episodes did, outside of maybe one episode. And as far as story and conflict, you have the conflict between Vision and Wanda. You have a lot of minor reveals, and it's just really cool. I liked everything almost about it. It wasn't it didn't flow perfectly. Not everything landed, but it was pretty good. It was definitely one of the best episodes, close to the best episode. But yeah, episode 5 was definitely satisfying, and it uses its 42-minute runtime minus credits very well, and I liked episode 5 quite a bit. But in number 1, the number 1 place for all 9 seasons of WandaVision, I would put episode 8 with a 95%. This is the episode that answers pretty much all of the questions, but it's not forcefully doing it. We're going into an exploration of what happened, and while also discovering and exploring Wanda's backstory in this kind of behind the scenes viewpoint of watching what's going on as if you were on a movie set. And it was kind of brilliant. It kind of sticks to the whole TV show mentality, and it answers so many questions, not only about how we got the Hex and why Vision's there and all that, but also just explaining a lot of needed backstory for Wanda. This is definitely this episode is Wanda's origin movie, only in a 50-minute episode, and it's pretty great. I loved it. It makes me care about Wanda as much as I would almost any of the bigger A-list MCU characters. And so yes, I am excited to see where Wanda goes in future movies. Although this series did kind of let me down with the final episode, and not every episode was as great as I was hoping it would be. it still got me to care about Wanda, which I think is its main goal. It's not, I don't think these TV shows on Disney Plus are supposed to be anything big that gives us big reveals and like groundbreaking, universe shattering like moments and events that are going to like affect the MCU in huge ways going forward. I think these are just more to get us connected to characters, and WandaVision does it in such a way with its concept and its idea that it's fresh, it's entertaining, and it's just creative overall. And fun is definitely the word, but it also takes time to be serious and explore that. And I think episode 8 does that the best. And so, as for my final thoughts, I went over most of them, but it's just something to like water our mouths with as we wait for the movies to come back. It's good, it's not great, it's far from the best MCU content, although some of the individual episodes are equal to that of an A-list MCU movie, but in like a episode, so it's not, you're not getting as much out of it, so it's not quite as satisfying. And the series overall isn't like amazing, it's not great, it is good. So I guess I'd say WandaVision is worth your time. It's definitely something different from the MCU, which I think makes it even more worth watching. But episode 9 is honestly your typical superhero blockbuster entertainment. And in a show like WandaVision, especially when you're not going to give any big reveals, it just seemed lacking. So this show started off good. It had its great moments, it had its okay moments, and it ended on a entertaining but lackluster note. So overall, for a final season score of WandaVision, I give WandaVision an 85%. Thanks everyone for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell to help you be on the lookout for more videos from Luke Filmboss.